So, testing, testing. Can you hear me? Cool, cool, cool. I know I'm running a bit late. But that's how it works sometimes. But I think you guys can hear me, and hopefully it's not shit. So, we're going to go with it. Now I gotta fix my shit because it's all blurry. All right, I think that's good. All right, hopefully you can hear me. Welcome to Nightcap. I don't know if that background's dope or not. Whatever, we're gonna do something funky. Ugh, hold on, guys. See, I'm all discombobulated. You know how it goes. You know how it goes. Oh my. Want to do that? Or what do we want to do? Let's just stick with that. All right. Welcome to Nightcap, everybody. What a day. My name's Nate. You know, this is the deal where I rant and rave. I'm totally driving blind right now because and there's no excuses. Look, somebody told me don't apologize, but I got to give you a heads up. Today was like bang, 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 bang. I got the interview done with Chloe Wagner. It was awesome. I felt like I did a decent job. I uploaded it, I edited it. It's still encoding. So again, it's just my workflow sucks, but I promised her that I would remove a couple parts before I broadcast it. So I can't broadcast it without those edits, just because I want to protect her as well. So it's going to have to be tomorrow. Look, I know it's a downer. It was a good interview. You'll see it tomorrow. But I want to talk about a couple things today that'll maybe make up for the fact that my workflow is shit. Anyway, this is your first time. You know, we're shooting from the hip sometimes when we're trying new things. We got an interview today. This is typically just a rant and rave moment for Nate Bomberger. But today, you know, I tried to spice it up. And of course, the interview ran late, or actually went later than I wanted it to. And of course, then I lost a couple hours because of encoding, which I knew, but it just happens. So this is a one-man shop, shooting from the hip, and we missed. But I'm excited the fact that the interview went well. She's wonderful. She was very candid. She allowed me to ask questions that, you know, you might not be comfortable with. It's adult material. We talk about some of the things that maybe the questions you might even have. And there were a couple things I missed, and she promised she'd come back. And one of the things I think I missed is I wanted to get her take on a couple of the items that I talked about, which was kind of how she felt about the Dave Chappelle thing and what she thought about, you know, in general, some of the support for the transgender community and kind of the backlash. And we did get to talk about the number one issue that affects transgender, which is suicide. And so we got to talk about that and some other things. I'll keep my powder dry. That's the right analogy until tomorrow. But it was good. I'm just frustrated because I literally was thinking I could get it done. It's probably going to be done in coding shortly. So we'll see what happens. My screen's blinking, so let me see if there's another problem. Nope, just normal slow degradation of my system because I'm trying to do everything. All right, listen, tonight we're going to get into it. You know, lately, probably the biggest thing that's been bothering me lately, as I talked about yesterday, is just kind of the vitriol that goes back and forth between the parties. I mean, it's just crazy, right? And so today, you know, I'm going through Twitter again, I'm doing my dance, and I encounter this whole new wave of sentiment that's coming out that's suggesting that, you know, Trump's, I mean, basically Trump's on the wire for a lot of shit, okay? while I was screaming and yelling during COVID and pre-COVID and from literally the day after he got elected, I was fucking in a kerfluffle. I talked about the Gatling gun scandal effect that he has, which he just does so much dumb shit that nobody knows what's going on. And you have so much material to cover that you cannot possibly cover it all in an hour news session, in a 24-hour news session. And so by the time something new came along, and trust me, if you're thinking I'm gonna bash Trump all day long, that's not what I do. I don't give a fuck about Trump. I don't wanna talk about Trump. I have PTSD, which I'm not making a joke about. I seriously was fucking traumatized by the last 4 years. And I'm not minimizing somebody who has PTSD through war or some other trauma, but it was fucking traumatizing. Lost friends, members of my family I don't talk to. It was fucked up. And so, as I said during that time, there's going to be shit coming out for years on this guy because he's such a piece of shit, and the reporters don't have the capacity, and certainly they're looking for the clickbait to try to get to the next hot thing so they sell more whatever the fuck they're selling. That this is going to take years to uncover, and it turns out now we're finding out that he ate papers. That he, documents that he didn't want to flush because whatever reason, I don't fucking know. But this is the mentality. And of course, his supporters are just going to minimize that. It doesn't matter how many books were written. It doesn't matter how many things come out about the guy. If you're a fucking Trump diehard, you'd fucking go down on the ship with him. You'll fucking not take the vaccine just to stuff it to the liberals and die from COVID because fucking Trump. I mean, that's what the fuck is happening. It's fucking nuts. And so, I'm seeing this. I haven't really dove into any of the scandals because I've been trying to avoid spending my time on him. I want to talk about how we can get healthcare. I want to talk about transgender rights. I want to talk about the issues that people have with healthcare. I don't want to fucking talk about Donald Trump. But even beyond, with all the things that are happening right now, apparently, if you haven't heard, the DA is essentially got carte blanche to fucking go nuts on his financials for his firm. The accounting firm that worked for him said we can no longer vouch for the last 10 years of documents that we provided to the IRS. So now we have somebody that was president of the United States that claimed he was a billionaire, that stated that they had assets and funding from Russia, and they never needed capital from anyone in the United States. That's a fact. Now we have this person that was president of the United States that had access to all the secrets and all the, the nuclear weapons and the information that the government provides, and even, top secret information. We had this person as president because you fucking buffoons thought because it's sticking it to the liberals and you wanted that strong man, you said, fuck it. You ignored all your family values. You ignored any kind of fact checking or anything that resulted in, in some kind of slant on Trump. You said, fuck it. It's just the liberals. And here you are looking like an idiot again. Just like you do when you fucking throw all your money to fucking Jerry Falwell or fucking Jim Baker, or all the fucking idiot fucking televangelists that are taking your fucking taking your coin because they're saying that you need it. This is the con, and it's the same people getting conned over and over and over. And so you can imagine if, again, I talk about I told you so Mount. I'm fucking tired of it. I'm tired. I knew this was going to be an I told you so for years. I told you so, more shit. He's going to be dead, and they're going to be finding out shit that he did in the White House. And so historians are going to have a fucking, what the fuck? We have all this digital records. We have all the ability to track everything. Of course, this guy thinks he's going to get around everything by eating documents. You can go to the printers and basically print off a print spool. If they have any kind of IT system, there should be a way to print all those documents that he fucking supposedly ate. I mean, this is so basic shit. This is basic shit. I would walk in there and say, what printers are hooked up? Where's your central printer server? Let's look at the queue. Where's your backups? Let's look at the backups. There's a way to fucking get it. Where are the backups for that day? Let's go to the day, pull out that stuff. I mean, I'm not a fucking genius, but there's a way to get those documents if they want. So eating a fucking document that was printed through all these electronic means is completely stupid as fuck. You know, he probably asked, is this the only copy? No, it's not, you fucking buffoon. But now this is coming out that he actually tried to hide things by eating it. You know, I mean, this is just like toddler level shit. Okay, so, you know, today, and by the way, I'm going to check this interview. I'm not going to run it today because it's probably about 40 minutes and it's good. And I want to pay Chloe, Miss Wagner, you know, the full respect of giving her the entire session. So I'll play that tomorrow. I may do a preamble, but then I want to run it. So I'm just going to, yeah, I think it's done now, but it's, you know, I'm fired up. I'm just going to get this off my chest and then we'll move on. But, you know, and so, you know, again, as I'm going through Twitter, this is kind of coming out, and I've kind of filtered away some of the Trump, you know, kind of the affinity for writing about Trump. I've kind of filtered out some of those reporters because I'm like, I don't want to know more about Trump unless it's relevant to our current situation. And, you know, the only reason this is relevant is because it's taking resources. It's taking time. There's stories, there's reporters, there's staff, there's people that are working on this stuff. There's entire DA offices that are working on this stuff to basically convict the ex-president of the United States and his family. They've got no paper trail for how they've earned their money. And nobody thinks this is fucking bizarre. You don't get that level of billionaire, again, undocumented billionaire, and that level of status without hustling. I mean, it's like we know his financials up until a certain point, and then all of a sudden he was essentially bankrupt, and then all of a sudden he becomes flush with cash after, a handshake with Putin? Is that what it was? And so, you know, what you have going on right now is you have this crazy, because they've really went in deep with this guy, like the whole way in, no fucking prophylactic, just the whole way in with Donald Trump, so far that you can't even tell where his ass is and where they begin, that they're now shaming themselves all over again by defending every single fucking thing this guy's doing. Jim Jordan's out there trying to pivot and saying this is just a political hit job. And it's like, when does it stop? When do we have, when do these people, I guess there is no bottom. You know, we talk about, when you're talking about addiction, you talk about bringing someone to their bottom or letting them hit their bottom, which could be death, right? You know, which is the ultimate sacrifice by you kind of deciding not to enable this fucking drug addict who's sick. Again, by the way, it's that they're sick. And so they have this disease. And so the only way to do it, you cannot just help them. You have to let them kind of wander and cross your fingers and hope they don't die. These guys essentially are so addicted to Trump that they're going to go down with the ship. They know their bottom is career-ending, legacy-ending shit. But they're going down with the ship now, and they're trying to defend the indefensible. And again, I've been really trying to filter out through my news feeds and through my bubbles any kind of bullshit with Trump, because again, I'm not fucking with you when I say it severed several relationships that I had. There are friends, I refuse to fucking even answer their phone call. I don't give a fuck. Talk about forgiveness, all that shit. Keep it to yourself. I'm fucking done. I'm happier now without those having to argue with those people about dumb shit. There's family members I don't really give a fuck about if they're pissed off because I'm on this platform and I'm gonna rail on their fucking beliefs or their political beliefs because I don't care anymore. I just don't care. I'm like I said yesterday, I'm halfway dead. So who the fuck cares? But what's intolerable to me is that we're gonna have another election. We're gonna have another midterm election, and these motherfuckers are gonna get reelected, and we're gonna put them in power because people aren't happy with creepy old Joe. That's what you want to call him. We'll go back to the Trump years of name calling. And so, you know, it's again, there's just complete frustration. And look, everything's fine right now for me. Obviously, I would love to have $2,000 a month to support all the stuff that I'm doing with Smashing the Party. Hint, hint, buy a fucking shirt, subscribe, throw me some cash. I'll put a Cash App link out there. But, you know, other than that, I'm doing fine. But what I notice is there's this apathy that's happening on the left, and they're just kind of sitting back, and the Republicans are getting all charged up. They want to fight. They want to win. And we're going to watch them win the Senate, the House, and the presidency over the next 4 years. I'm just going to make that prediction. I don't want it. I wish I was wrong. Oh, Nate, why don't you go out there and hustle? This is what I'm doing. I'm fucking telling people. Every time someone gets on my feed and says, hey, why don't you go do this or run for this? This is what the fuck I'm doing. And I know you want me to run for school board, you want me to do this shit. Fuck all that shit. This is what I'm doing. I'm a yeller and a screamer. I'm going to fucking point fingers and call truth to power. And what I will continue to rip on is watching insanity happen in front of my eyes. You know, that's when you do the same thing over and over. And we know he's a fucking criminal. But you're going to have half the country. I mean, even after he was impeached twice, this motherfucker gets elected. What does that say about you? That you voted for something that you really don't believe in just because you didn't like Hillary Clinton or just because you didn't like Joe Biden? You would vote for essentially the devil? You know, years ago I said this to my mom. She will probably deny I ever said it. But I said, this was right before Obama got elected, I said, actually it might have been Bush towards the end when I kind of started to awaken. But I said, you know, I really didn't agree with the position that a lot of folks in my family have about abortion. And I'm done. I don't care if people get pissed off. Fuck you. I was pissed off about this, and I said, what if you had somebody? I posed this hypothetical, because this is what I do. What if you had somebody that was awful? They did everything awful, but they were pro-life. Would you vote for them? They went against your family values, and of course it was no. Of course not. That's what people said in my family. No, we wouldn't do that. You lie. You lied. You basically fucking did exactly that thing. And so, you know, look, if it isn't obvious that I don't have beef with people in my family and my friends that kind of essentially, it's a big deal to me. You might think, oh, dude, get over it. These are, there were real consequences for this decision to vote for Trump. We're all walking around with masks because he said it was going to be gone by Easter in 2020. He said it was just going to fade away, which he may be right, but not without effort, not without all the effort that went into it, not without the magical vaccines that he was so, he bragged about producing. And so it becomes this, I guess I start to see how you evolve into the angry old man, in my case, the angry old black man, because you're seeing things that are happening and you're seeing your friends and family and strangers do the same fucking thing. Look, I have issues in my personal life that I do the same fucking thing over and over. I go to therapy to try to break those fucking habits and those patterns. I'm trying to work on myself. That's just what I do. I find out things every day about myself. I'm like, damn, I didn't know I was like that. Watching myself on video basically gave me a crash course on, holy fuck, I have some crazy mannerisms. And so you become self-aware, but I don't know when that's going to happen for some people. I don't think some people ever reach the level of critical self-analysis, and maybe that's good. Maybe there's bliss there where you can just kind of just lollygag around and nothing's going to happen to me. But when it does, oops, it wasn't my fault, or yeah, it's somebody else's fault, I guess. If it sounds like I'm rambling, the point I'm making is that I'm extremely frustrated with the left and the right. I'm extremely frustrated at the fact that I'm watching this whole thing play out again, where the rabble-rousers of the right are doing their thing, getting their red meat, getting everybody fucking, chomping at the bit. And the left is kind of just sitting here in academic circles talking about the history and doing this and, well, the filibuster and fighting process, not selling fucking concepts, not selling ideas, and not getting people excited, not painting the picture that these fucking people, have essentially left the country down with their vote, with their rhetoric. And that's a fact. That's a fact. If you think we're in a good position now and you think it's all Biden's fault and you think inflation's not the effect of a almost $2 trillion, maybe $4 trillion output. And by the way, every time someone says 1.8 or $2 trillion tax cuts, if you look carefully at the bill and you look at when they released the bill and when they talked about it on CNBC the first like couple days, it was actually $2 trillion more than what the number that became popular in the media. And so I don't know where that fucking $2 trillion went, but my point is, like, there was a lot of money that went out the door. And let's say I'm wrong and I'm misinformed. $2 trillion is still a lot of money that went out the door. And that had no effect on inflation? Do you think that that stuff happens instantly? So we're really feeling the effects of the fucking Trump years in many regards. It still really isn't Joe Biden's economy yet. I've said this during the Obama years. There's a delayed effect on this stuff. It's not like you snap your fingers. That's one of the reasons why every time we have a stimulus package, they try to get the cash directly into somewhere where it can be spent. When you do this $2 trillion tax cut for rich people, they fucking hoard their money. They put it in other places. They're not just like, wow, I got an extra $10 million. I'm going to make $10 million worth of jobs happen. No, that's not what the fuck happens. You have no idea what, when a person gets to that level of rich, they're now in another level and they're looking at their, just like you're looking at your neighbor's yard saying, wow, their fucking grass is really green. They're doing the same shit. Oh, he's got a fucking yacht with a fucking, a helicopter pad. I got to do that shit too. It's the same dumb shit. You're going to be a fucking idiot if you get rich and you think like that. You're going to be an idiot anyway. So, like, these people are fucking idiots. They're not smarter than you. They're not better than you. They somehow walked a chain. Maybe they worked hard, but I'm not thinking they worked harder than most Americans. They got fucking lucky. They fucking got into some genetic pool. I don't even care if you say they're American Indian or black and they're a billionaire, and that means everyone can do it. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Don't throw me outliers and say that's part of the sample. And so my frustration tonight is coming from the fact that we're watching this in slow motion. We're going to watch this fucking thing get handed over to these fucking traitors, these fucking liars, these people that put in somebody in office that was incapable of, as I said, running a fucking diner. Because all you have to do to get Trump to do what you want is play the narcissist game, and that's just tell them what they want to hear, be the last person in their ear, and everything works. It was not stable. And so, again, I really need to think of a new process. Maybe this is good for content, but every fucking time I get on Twitter and I start kind of going through and seeing what I'm going to talk about, I'm just kind of stepping back and going, what the fuck is this? What is going on? Why aren't people fucking in the streets saying, get the fuck out of here, Republicans, get back to truth? Even if you can't tell me that you voted for Republicans because they're fiscally conservative. What the fuck is that? There's no record of them being fiscally conservative. They're just good at, when they're a minority party, at saying, hey, those guys are tax and spend. In fact, I have a friend, who kind of has been in politics but has stepped out. And he's like, yeah, the tax and spend Democrats. And said it as if like it was something that really is true. It's not. Tax and spend, what the fuck is that but a soundbite that will rile you up and basically cut you short of basically stops your critical thinking process because you're like, yep, that fits my mold. Yep. And you just kind of eat it up and spit that out and then you regurgitate that dumb shit all over the place. And it's dumb shit. It's not even factual. It's just like, wow, that's cool. Democrats are tax and spend and Republicans are conservative. Because why? What data do you have? Even the identities of the parties are essentially built on layers and layers of bullshit. And so, like, my whole purpose for this platform was because I'm tired of this shit. I can go and make $250,000, $500,000 a year doing software, fucking joining the system, getting in there. Wow, I'm fucking driving a nice car and doing all this shit. And then I die and it's fucking all what? What is it? It's stupid. It's stupid shit. I don't have any kids, so I guess my wife gets all the shit. Hopefully we die peacefully in some fashion where we don't have to live without each other's existence or some shit. But either way, the shit doesn't come with me. But we're out fighting for it and it feels good because I'm stepping up. But then you go home and you have to crack open 2 bottles of wine because you hate your life. I was there. I did it. And so we have this whole engine that's built to essentially capitalize on poverty, capitalize on cheap labor. And then people get an MBA and they come out and like, now I understand the system. And they just kind of know how to pull the levers of the system. And they think they're fucking special that they work for that shit. Come on. Come on. You're just greedier than other people and you had the ambition. And I don't respect it. I don't respect that game. I don't. I don't respect a country that has the wealth that we have and the poverty that we have. How can you have those two things in the same pod? Be the richest country and yet have, these conditions where people are living on the street and that's brag-worthy? We're the greatest country in the world? What a fucking farce. We could be if people started, let go of their cognitive dissonance, which is essentially anything that reaffirms my belief. I want to consume it, so I'm going to stay here on Fox News. I'm going to stay here on CNBC or CNN, and I'm just going to watch Rachel Maddow and just regurgitate her shit because she's smart. And there's no critical thinking. And so you're going to get bamboozled every fucking time. Do I think I'm the fucking savior for all this? No, but I'm going to bitch and moan about it just like I do at every fucking job, why I'm a pain in the ass wherever I work, because I fucking call shit the way I see it. And I'm usually right. Fucking bet. I don't enjoy being this smart. I really don't. It's fucking miserable. And I'm kind of joking. Breathe. My frustration is also because I didn't get my fucking video processed fast enough. And it pisses me off because I fucking planned this day perfectly. And Donald Trump... No, I'm just kidding. So, let me breathe. So, again, I'm still talking about process. I'm still arguing and regurgitating the vitriol that I see. But it gets dumber. It's now to the point where there's facts that are coming out that say, look, this family is a criminal organization. Which again, I told you so mountain. I'm going to get a fucking sign for I told you so mountain. They're a criminal organization. They're not allowed to run a charity in New York. No, that doesn't faze you, right? But the economy was so good before COVID. The fuck you talking about? He's the reason we have COVID. He fucking acted like it was nothing and minimized and ignored and politicized and polarized the entire fucking country, so now that you can literally tell how someone votes by whether they're covering their mask or not. A health issue. And you are going to fucking vote for them again. I'm not saying the Democrats are any better, but why don't you try something different? Why don't you pick up the phone or fucking go work for a campaign or do something to kind of change the outcome instead of doing the same dumbass shit all the time? Well, my family's Republican. I'll vote Republican. All my friends are Republican. I live in North Carolina. I live in Virginia. Fuck you, you fucking non-thinking motherfucker. Start thinking for yourself. You got all the things in the world to be a part of the group. There's tons of tribes you can join. You can like this football team. You can all be Eagles fans or Steelers fans and get all hyped up when the fucking game comes on. You can do all that shit. There's fucking tribes for everything. You can go find fucking poop-eating midget fucking clubs if you want a fucking tribe. And I'm not slighting what I should say, small people, I think they're called. I'm not sure. Again, not politically correct on this show. My point is, like, you can go find a fucking club. This is the wrong time to be tied to a club. When you're tied to you should be tied to principles. You should be tied to an agenda. You should be tied to, like, anything that's going to better people's lives. Why be tied to the fucking losing team or the winning team or whatever? When you can switch positions on anything and just stand firm on what you believe in instead of literally saying, you know what? Yeah, if a pro-life candidate comes and they're evil behind the scenes, I'm not going to vote for him. Bullshit. We know that's a bullshit. That's bullshit. It's a lie. It's a lie. And we lived it because all the family values and even the 80s Satan scare and Dungeons and Dragons, you build up to this fucking moment and you fucking failed. And you know what? People are running from the church now, running. I ran a long time ago. I'm talking about people now are looking at you going, what the fuck is going on with this? What religion is this? I'm all over the place tonight, but I'm pissed off because, again, we're going to continue to just feel the pain from this, from the idiots, the people that want to allow other people to think for them. You're not thinking for yourself. This is your opportunity. I mean, what a great time to be alive when you have access to all the information pretty much that exists at your fingertips, and you choose to be an idiot and not vet your candidates and not verify things and not double check even what I'm saying. I could start a fucking cult on here, I guarantee it, because there are people that will believe whatever. A friend of mine I was at dinner with the other day, he's like, yeah, my mom, had mental illness and she started a cult, and when she passed away, about 35 or 40 of the members came up to this person and were like, hey, we don't know what to do. And I told him, that's a fucking cult. That's amazing, because that person created that following. I mean, I actually made the joke of like, yeah, I wish I was better at creating a cult. I'm not tribal enough. It's probably going to be my demise if there was a demise, because I'm going to succeed. But the point, he says this about his mom, and I was kind of mesmerized by that. And she had mental illness, and she still had 25, 40 people following her. And so that just tells me, like, people want to feel purpose. They want to be a part of something, and that's fine. Well, guess what? I've got the thing that you can be a part of. Go fucking buy a shirt. Look how dope this fucking sweatshirt is. You can't see the fucking logo. It's dope, okay? It's not a fucking black power fist or anything like that. It's just a fucking dope-ass fucking sweatshirt that you could have, and you'd be supporting this cause. You'd be part of the party club. You would be a party person. The time for your dumbass political party clubs are over. You need to put all your belief and money into smashing the party. I'm kind of joking, but that's how easy it is to get money from people, apparently, when you have a huge audience and you're preaching about whatever crazy shit Jim Baker did or whatever crazy shit these folks on these televangelists. But it just tells you that people want to feel part of something. They want to contribute. But we're not focused on the right things. This is not the time for fucking, the team tribal shit. This is where you got to step back and say, who are the people on my team again? And are they really on my team? Are they really doing the things that they said they're going to do? And that's why the other week I started talking about committees, and I started trying to help you understand some of these little machinations, or if I'm not saying that word correctly, fuck it, these mechanical functions that exist that kind of add to the political layer of legislating and running the government. I'm trying to put out little tidbits that will, if somebody is an avid fan and watches every day, that they could actually start to understand and maybe step back and go, yeah, maybe Nate's kind of a little wacky on that shit. He's a little bit too passionate for my liking, but it'll give you pause on that next time you just go and do what your family's done for years. When your family's not fucking changed their economic situation, you're not changing your economic situation. And, as Trump said, what the fuck do you have to lose? The world doesn't end when Democrats run it. The world doesn't end Republican. Donald Trump really fucking made it close. He really, really tried. I promise you, he tried. That motherfucker tried to cause a war. He wanted a war. Even on his last fucking day, he marched in the Capitol and stormed it, essentially. So where does that leave us with today's rant? Well, today's rant, that was it. I wanted to just vent. I'm frustrated with my computer. It's time for the M1 chip. Apple, Adidas, I'm calling. Throw me a fucking endorsement here. Give me a fucking new computer and my own Smash in the Party shoes with the fucking logo on the fucking tongue. That's what I want. The logo on the tongue and maybe a logo on the side. Instead of the Adidas symbol, I want the fucking logo. Okay? It would be dope. I know the colors. We don't have to make them red, white, and blue. In fact, I want to make them like maybe a silver or something. All right? I got it all worked out. In all seriousness, I think, hopefully if you watch me and you understand kind of where I'm trying to go with this, there are going to be days where it's going to be extremely hard for me to get on here and be coherent because of my frustration. And today is one of those days where it's like, by the way, I didn't even tell you. the day started off with my gimbal breaking or not working. So that was like literally I spent several hours on the phone today. It was just one of those shit days where everything rolled downhill and nothing worked. Nothing worked properly. Interview was great. Chloe was the light, the shining light on my shit day. So it happens, right? But we moved through it, and I think that this, the point that I'm making tonight is still extremely important. And that's like, stop fucking doing the same shit and expecting a different result. Stop just assuming that people have your best interest. Stop assuming that people that you're voting for actually are going there to do the thing that they say they're going to do. Because a lot of them aren't even getting close. I mean, I have to call out the Democrats. The Medicare for All was part of the party platform. And I did a whole thing about party platforms and how they're generated and how they're created and how it's important to keep an eye on those party platforms to hold your party accountable. For instance, I'm going to do a quick refresher. Republicans decided not to write one for the 2020 election because they just put a preamble in the beginning, a resolution that said, we're just going to support Donald Trump. Hail Donald Trump. And that was it. They didn't change anything. So when you read the preamble, it's shit. It's reflecting on the things that happened in 2016. And they also made the excuse, well, we can't get together because COVID. Bullshit. Democrats wrote a new platform. It was relevant. It was on point. And so, these are things that I'm putting out there. If you give a fuck and you like hearing me get pissed off and you like seeing me do funny faces once in a while and all that shit, that's part of the fucking allure. But the truth is, like, I'm not happy with the way things are in this country, and that's why the fuck I'm preaching about it. It's why I use strong language. That's why I try to offend sometimes and make you think. Stop fucking around. Anyway, listen, I don't have much more. I think my computer's done. I'm going to leave it with that. I didn't do my 3 points. We went way off topic today. There was no topic because I wanted to play I had this whole interview planned out. But it goes along with the passion and the thread of what Smash the Party is, which is stop accepting bullshit. Start questioning things. I'm not telling you to fucking, uproot the entire government. Start questioning. I mean, this is part of, this is the one thing I agree with libertarians is like, besides their Pontius Pilate's fence-sitting bullshit, which they do. Again, I'm always going to throw in a slant for them anytime I give a positive. But one thing that libertarians do, besides all the dumb shit that they do, is they do question everything, or they like to at least act like they do. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. That's one thing I would love to borrow is they're just suspect of everything, and then they kind of have to go back to their made-up fantasy land, Ayn Rand, fucking ideology, and then they're fine until pressed for details. Again, I think that was a pretty good riff on libertarians. Fuck them. Anyway, so it is important to question things. It is important to not just take even what I'm saying at face value. Even though I'm not going to lie to you, and quite frankly, I'm right most of the time. So if you're going to put, all your eggs in one basket, this basket's not a basket to put them in. I'm just going to be honest. I'm just going to be fucking straight with you. I've been watching all my videos. I've been editing them and trying to fucking find content in them. And very rarely was I wrong. It sucks. Fucking pissed. I need to be wrong. Tell me that the fucking Republicans aren't going to win and I'll fucking do whatever. Tell me that we're not going to lose the Senate. If the Senate and the House aren't lost to the presidency, I'll fucking do a dance in my skivvies. You can pull that video out and hold me to that. But anyway, listen, I'm going to wrap. Tomorrow at 10:30, we're going to get on. I do want to say a couple things about gratitude before I completely close, but I just want to say tomorrow we'll be on at 10:30. Still throwing around the time. Some people don't like the time. I'm kind of iffy on it. I like this time because anything earlier means that, it kind of shortens my day. And I'm kind of a sporadic sleeper, so I'll work. But I found that time is optimal for me. But you know what? This is for you. And so I'm going to kick that around. I'll probably do this whole session. We go 4-week sessions. I'll probably do this whole 4 weeks at 10:30. And then we'll kind of revisit it and for the next session. But tomorrow we'll be back at 10:30. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Twitch. I'm on YouTube. And where else am I? I was trying to get on LinkedIn. Those motherfuckers won't let me. I'm on several places on Facebook, by the way. You can watch me on Nathaniel Bomberger at my business page or the Smashing the Party page. But better yet, you can go to Smash the Party blog, subscribe, and that really goes a long way to saying how much you love me. Those likes are good. Those follows are good. I still require you to do those. Share it, like it. I know you got a job that makes it tough for you to talk about things like this, and I'm a little controversial, but just share it. Just send it to somebody's messenger. Send it directly to them. Fucking send direct to your friends. That's all I got, folks. Appreciate it. You guys are wonderful. There's a lot of love coming my way. I have not been doing a good job of grooming my comments, and that's kind of something that you should do periodically. It's been probably 1 or 2 days since I've looked at my comments. But when I did the other day, I was like, holy shit, there's a lot of engagement that I'm not paying for that you guys are doing. And what that means is people are paying attention, people are having conversations, people are liking, they're sharing, and it's fantastic. And just want to say thank you. Thank you very much. I love this. I love, my day is kind of exactly how I want it to be. Oftentimes I've got to do shit that I don't want to do, but I want to spend time thinking about ways that I can put out information and kind of grow this thing. And my 5-year plan, we're year 2 right now, middle of year 2. My 5-year plan is to have something that I'm proud of that even networks would look at it and go, holy shit, this fucking guy's got some tight shit. And at that point, I hopefully have, a critical mass of maybe 10,000 followers, and we're fucking making good shit happen. And those 10,000 super fans are motivated, and they're better than having 1 million haters, which I'll also take. If I get 1 million people that hate me, that's also a metric of success, which I'm going to have to say I'll take it, because that means I'm pissing somebody off. But anyway, again, the larger picture is this isn't about Nate Bomberger or my ambition, but my ambition is tied to growing this platform so we can make a change. I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of the same old dumb shit. I'm at the age now, I remember thinking, like, someday I'm going to be older, and then I'll kind of get to that point where things will make sense. And, you kind of look when you're a kid, you're like, oh, the adults are in charge, you feel safe. What the fuck? God, I'm glad there's so much naivete and innocence in children, because if they really knew how fucking chaotic and not know what they're doing the adults are, they might literally crawl back in the womb. They might say, fuck this, abort me, I'm done. I know that got your ear. All right, I'm gonna wrap. Thanks again. I appreciate all the love. Go buy a sweatshirt. You're gonna be cold. It's got a couple more months, and we'll roll out the shirts and the shoes and the fucking and the summer stuff. But right now, I need you to stay warm in this dope ass gear. Subscribe to my blog. I'm writing blogs. Look, you're watching a reinvention in slow motion. I was a fucking software engineer. I was a salesperson. Every single time I reinvent myself, it's painful to watch, but I end up reaching that pinnacle. So join in now, because I'm going to remember if you didn't. Just kidding. Thanks again. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 10:30. That's it. Oh, you know what? I wonder if I'm even going to be able to stop this thing. Yeah, I will. Cool. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate it. I will see you tomorrow.